I don't know if this is working or not. This is a new thing, so we're going to try Google Hangouts and see how this works. And we'll just go from there. I'm sitting here in my laboratory, my messy man cave of typewriterdom. And I don't know if we're going to need to do things like try a cell phone in order to get close-up shots or whatever. This is the laptop, and I am just winging this. Right now, it's just me, so I'm only speaking for posterity, and we'll see what happens. So, if I just wonder if we need to publish, I'm being called, if we need to publish links to let people connect to this particular channel. So forgive me while I speak to my wife here. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you grab a small flattened box off the floor in the guest room just inside the door?
I did.
What did you do with it?
I used it to paint on it.
That's my cat food box.
Oh, sorry. It's sitting on the counter.
Okay.
It's not, I mean, no harm, no foul.
That way I can put Stashy's food on it and not get food on my car.
Gotcha. Whew. So much going on. So much going on. Oh my gosh. I mean, holy crap. My shop is a mess. I'm ashamed to even show you aspects of it. Everything is in disrepair. I've got cans of paint remover sitting here. I've got spare parts earmarked for people sitting here. It's incredible. I know, for instance, if Clark Hinson were here right now, his head would explode. That might be something fun to see, but it would not be intentional. I don't want the mess. I don't want the clutter. So for the time being, it's just me here yammering, and I want to try to figure out in the future how we can do group chats. I wonder how I invite people to this hangout. Oh, here, invite. So let me try this. I'm going to invite Ian. And we'll see if he can join. I gave him the URL that I posted into Facebook, but that apparently is only read-only or view-only. So let's see here. So if I go to YouTube on my telephone, just give me, so this, like I said, this whole thing is going to be a train wreck because we're trying to figure out what the heck's going on. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Not only aspects of the Magdalensky collection, I also purchased a very large collection from a deceased gentleman's family in Pittsburgh. Those two things last year torpedoed me rather. Submarine torpedo. You get the idea. With, like this parts cabinet, which I had purchased many years ago. It was underutilized. It's now full, it's full. All those bins on the shelves back here, there are some more parts containers. There's parts containers below it. I've got stuff in jars. I've got, and here comes Ian. So let's see if I can make a spot for him to sit, and we'll go from there. I sent you an invite.
I did not see it.
It's in your email.
Oh, that's why I didn't see it.
So, like I said, train wreck. And I'm the only one here right now because you haven't joined, and I don't know if I'll see if 0 viewers. So right now I'm just talking to myself. This is a
Talking to myself.
A solo exercise. So let me move some stuff out of the way. Okay.
It says the video is unavailable. It took me to YouTube.
It'll be available. I am live. We are broadcasting. It says I have 0 viewers.
I will try again.
This is a gorgeous machine. Look at that.
That's very nice.
That's the SM4 that the body panels came on.
Oh.
It's gorgeous.
I'm getting the
Look at this.
exact same thing every
This is
time.
Brian Sherwood's. It's an SM4. It is unbelievably beautiful. Mint, but the body panels were terrible. They were over cleaned. The wrinkle was gone from them. So I'm wrinkle painting the thing.
You sent me a watch link.
There's a second one. Anyway, gorgeous machine. Oh, the number of machines I have. Sorry, I got a chair for you. We could probably sit here, and that should be the second. I sent you 2 links.
That's the only link I see, and it says this video is unavailable.
Train wreck.
Yeah, I only see the one, unless you sent it to a separate mailbox.
I added to iadb@mac.com. Is it a Google Hangouts link?
No, it's a YouTube link.
See, I sent a second email.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a Google Hangout. You should see https://hangouts.google.com/hangouts, blah, 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 blah. I'll try it again.
Nothing yet.
Send an invite as Typewriter Maintenance. It may be in your spam.
Maybe in my spam. Let's check the spam. Spam.
iadb@mac.com.
No.
Sending another invite. There's the Ian.
I'm black and white, it looks like.
It's very washed out. I don't know why. Looks like a bleach process almost.
Bleach bypass?
Exactly. I wish I had a typewriter joke or something to tell.
I don't have a typewriter joke.
I don't either. Oh, I was just lamenting.
Yes.
It came from the 2 typewriter collections last year.
Yep, that was a bit much to bite off in once, I think. In
And
retrospect.
And Magdalensky, it just kept on going. We stopped.
I thought it was 3 times. Or was it 4?
We went 4.
We went 4 times? I thought it was 3.
And we stopped. There were more machines. We left good machines.
I remember like 5 Remington
up in the
25s.
Stuff in the attic.
But most of those were in pieces to some degree.
But
the ones that they were pedestrian except for the Remington 25s. So that's what I remember leaving behind, opting to leave behind the 25s.
Yeah, it was a real shame. All right, I'm looking at switch account. Oh, look at that. It's already set up. Can I join?
Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting another email either.
Check spam.
I checked there already.
I don't look. Watch what I'm doing.
Are you
invite?
Okay.
Send it. Share a permanent link. iadb at Mac. Sorry. Didn't say that.
If you like me, you can
Now I've
send me
used
an email.
that every time, so maybe we'll try that one. Let's see if that's different. I don't know. We have no viewers. I'm sad. Sad face.
Well, you didn't advertise it or anything.
I kind of did. I let people know we'd be going live at 7, and then I gave the link on a YouTube group chat thing.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Oh. Nope. Wait. I'm checking.
It should be from Typewriter Maintenance.
Type.
See, I'll post that. Give me a permanent link. So try this. I'll go Facebook.
I'm not seeing it.
Into YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I'm not getting it.
All right. Shoot it to you another way.
I have another address you could use. That one is a Gmail account.
Well, I'm trying Facebook Messenger, so see if that worked. I'm getting chemical burns on my hands from using paint stripper without any gloves on.
Oh, well, don't do that.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit.
I mean, I use gloves using DC-99 at work because DC-99 will take the oil right out of your skin.
Yeah, this stuff is kind of wicked.
Every time I use it, I get prints stuck in my head.
In the party, tell it's DC-99. Sick and demented.
I have a song for everything. Okay. I am signing into the Google account with my Gmail.
Okay. That's the last one I sent it to. It knew about you. Okay. Because it had that logo, whatever icon, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Well, I said the H word.
You did. You said the H word.
It's much like habanero is the H word.
No, that's the J word.
Habanero.
It's the J word.
H. That's jalapeno.
Oh, thank you.
Good
yes.
grief.
I was thinking hot peppers because I don't.
I know how to spell habanero, buddy.
Well, I don't do peppers, so whatever. You
still no viewers.
You go take your correct spelling and do whatever.
Today, I want to talk about sending paper guides to the underprivileged.
I need for that.
Would you like a small one if you have much privilege, or a large one if you want less privilege? I don't know. I'm sorry, that was really strange.
Yes, it was. You were keeping me up. I have to get hangouts.
Also, no.
Yes, I have to get.
Now we're also giving Remington logos. They're steel, and you can just cram them right in your forehead and go around and walk around, and you'll have a Remington. So this is free to the first 5 callers. But
Caller
you
30
must send proof that it is jammed in your forehead,
or else we will come to your house and take it.
One of the best adhesives you can buy. Oh, look, it's backwards. That's unfortunate.
It's mirrored.
It is mirrored.
Flip it upside down. Then it'll be upside down and mirrored.
Then you'd have to watch it on your head in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. But this is a very fantastic, opposed to what it's actually showing you there, is not called Oogie. It is E6000. It's a fantastic glue adhesive. I use it for felt. I use it for all kinds of stuff. Gluing freaky keycaps and things. So you still don't have...
No, I have to download the app. It's taking forever to download. Yeah. So when I get the app, I will figure it out. It's a quarter of the way almost.
Okay. Well, I don't see any indication of streaming quality. I don't see other than the fact that it is picking up a microphone, which is just splendiferous. However, yeah, I'm trying to do a good deed as I look at my phone. Do a good deed to a young lad in a local town, and he was asking about a typewriter. And so I told him that, I would try to find him a machine that was affordable, something that, I just needed to get my money out of it. I'm not going to give it away. There's a principle here. He needs to at least pay for what it's worth or what it cost me, and I'm okay with that. But I estimated the value of this one, given, because it's hard to factor in gas and time, when you drive 4 times to Indiana to recover machines, what do you have into that machine, even if it was quote unquote free? So I came up with a price. I said $30. And it's for a Royal Sabre. It's in good shape. It's functional. It's in a case. It's only missing the little button on the latch. You can still flick it with your finger. But he came back, probably his dad's coaching or something, and offered me less money. And I had to say, look, dude, $30 is what the minimum I got to get out of this thing. That's what I put into it. I would sell this for a lot more money, $90. It's a good typewriter, and 30 is as low as I can go. And so he's thinking about it. I just kind of roll my eyes a little bit, but sometimes when I'm struggling with how to be kind to people, and yet in some cases let them understand the value of what it is that you're doing for them. And I don't want to do that in a self-serving way. But for instance, somebody on the collector's page needed a part. And I messaged them and said, you know, private message me. I've got those parts and I can help you out. And it was the bearing and pinion for a Royal portable typewriter. He said he needed a set. And a set to me is 4, right? And so I get in touch with them and I say, hey, you know, I can help you out. I've got 4. Is that all you need? And he said, well, no, I'd like to have 13 sets or something like that, 13, 15. It was a very large number. And even though I'm like, well,
I fixed it.
So now we're in the same.
Yeah.
So
turn the volume on.
Excellent. So now if you speak.
Hello.
It switches to your video.
Oh, that's nice.
And it shows you.
Hello. Oh,
That's
Echo! Echo! Echo!
yeah, I'm seeing the right side.
Oh, that's good. And so it wasn't ego.
No, I can read it properly.
Excellent, excellent. Now your video is not coming through very well. But it may be because we're streaming
From the resident.
same network. So you're a very handsome young man.
Stop.
What did the box say?
A ding, 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 ding.
among other things.
All right. So we have no viewers. This is just a masturbatory exercise. Maybe it's so now we know you need to.
Hello. Okay, better. In order to join in on it, you have to get Google Hangouts. It's an app. I thought you could just do it, and I was wrong. So I had to download an app and to get rolling.
So this is why people wear headphones all the time.
Oh.
When they live stream. So I get it.
There you go.
Maybe I'll pick up a pair of headphones. It's also picking me up on your mic. But
Well, no, it's picking up on the mic right now.
Okay.
Okay, well, not from my phone, but on my buds, yeah. Yeah, you pointed at my phone, so I...
It's like, no, it's not the problem, is
Whatever.
there.
Take whatever.
All right, what do we want to talk about? Today was a very Remington statesman-y kind of day.
I would say it was either a Remington Statesman-y day or a
Proportional day.
Proportional day.
yeah, it's a proportional day.
Proportional typers. We have a few. We've got an A model IBM Executive. We've got a D model IBM Executive. We have the very rare Underwood Raphael and
The extremely rare Remington Statesman.
Remington Statesman, which I'm trying to pry from his hands. I have little pittances. I have royal machines he doesn't have, so I will negotiate
Little things here and there.
little, whatnots, tools. Oh, you need a keyring puller? I might have a spare or two. But still no viewers, so that's okay. We're trying to figure out, how this works. And Ian, do you want to go take a tour of the Statesman?
Upstairs? I'm not sure how good my battery is right this minute, but I will go give it a shot. I will. Oh, excuse me. There we go.
All right. So while he's walking upstairs, I'm going to advertise for Pollyanna's Platens. She does these in her spare time with a toothbrush, and I think the rubber is actually handmade. She harvests a rubber excretion from a special beetle that only lives in Ohio, and then she creates the platen covering from the beetle excrement, and it's quite, oh God, it smells terrible, but works pretty good. So Pollyanna's Platens, available on demand, and they're handmade. And just don't get them near your face. So, roving reporter Ian, do you have Statesman information for us?
Yes, right here. I'm not sure exactly what you want to hear. Let me turn on some lights. That's one. That's close enough. So I've got it right here. What do you want to know?
What do you know
Can't hear
about
you
us?
right now.
Well,
What do I know?
Mhm.
Well, I know that it was a mid-50s Remington electric model. It's very, very large. Let's see what I can... Here's a copy of Etc. for comparison.
I've lost your video, by the way.
Okay, I've been losing yours every so often. Can you still hear me?
I can.
Okay, well, so without video, I can just say that it's very large. Mid-50s Remington electric model. This one is proportional to combat the IBM executive proportional machines. That was the market. I don't think Underwood had anything at the time that was proportional. This one is a 1957. It is quite large and quite heavy. As of now, there are 3 known to collectors, and this is one of them. Obviously, that sounded stupid after I said it, but you know what I mean. I think all 3 of them are in the United States. I think, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this one in particular was recovered from the Magdalensky collection in South Bend, Indiana. He was a typewriter repairman who had been repairing typewriters since before World War II, and continued to repair them after he went blind in the 1980s. So still getting it right and making them look fantastic, which is surprising to me. This one was in the basement, which of all of the rooms in the house, because we were from the estate, was the scariest room, I'd say. This particular corner of the basement had a waist-high pile in one of the corners that kind of extended 10 feet into the room.
Yeah, it was
like
like 10
shallower.
by 10. So 100 square feet of floor space with about 5 vertical feet, right, of piled machines, roughly speaking.
Well, in the far corner, I'd say it went up to maybe like 4, but it was lots of typewriters that had been partially disassembled. So there were the parts hanging around. There were whole machines that weren't in great shape, adding machines, some mimeograph machines that were pretty much destroyed. There were some film things. I think there was like a film splicer in there. And I remember some stenotypes as well. But over the 3 or 4 trips, I actually kind of forget how many. I thought there were 3 trips we took there. I made sure to comb through this corner as best I could to try and get as many of those as possible to get through there. There were a lot of electrices in that corner, and most of them were pretty badly, bent up. But this Remington Statesman was found underneath a pile of other Remingtons, almost outside the pile, and it was so well hidden, even though it was right near the edge, that none of us even saw a piece of it until we had dug through almost all of the pile.
I was going to say, it was almost the last
disappeared.
Found, right? It was very close to the end.
Yeah, it wasn't in the corner. It was close to the door, but we hadn't dug through that particular point because we assumed that we'd seen everything there, and we were just giving it a quick once over to make sure. And this turned up, which is surprising to me.
Very cool.
So I can bring it down if you'd like.
No, there's nowhere to put it at the moment.
Okay.
We can toggle over to another topic, or just kind of just cast, since it looks like nobody's joining us.
Okay. In either case, I do need to retreat down to my charging cable because I just got the alert that I won't have much more airtime.
Come on down.
Coming on down.
So,
switching the camera first.
If you want to, I'm going to talk a little bit about one of the techniques I use for a lot of things is an old toothbrush, and these are not, I'm sorry, it's not an old, like a used toothbrush. It was a toothbrush that a dentist gave to me when I visited, right? I don't use these kind of toothbrushes. It's an electric. So it comes in very handy. They like to give these away. And I use it for all kinds of things. Now, right now, it's very, very dirty. So to clean this up really quickly, one thing I do is I love Grease Lightning. And I buy it in bulk. And it's got, geez, what's the word I want? You have to dilute it. It comes concentrated. But I'll dilute it, and then I'll just spray some. Oops, getting that on my laptop. Spray some in the head, the bristles of the toothbrush. Oh my Lord, I made a mess. And then you just take a rag, and you turn it over, and you just do this. Get out some frustrations. And then you've got a nice clean toothbrush after you're done. And that freshens it up for the next use. But this thing has lasted 2 years. I use it a lot. I will use it with various polishes and cleaners. For instance, if you have a machine such as a Remington 5 Glossy, some of the screws in the side panel are structural. They're not just for the side case itself. They're actually holding cross members, and you don't want to take them out. And so what I will do is very carefully get some of the automotive polish that I use and put it on the toothbrush. I find that these bristles do not mar up the paint finish. I'll get in there and I'll polish around that screw head and then just wipe it out. And that way you don't have a mark around the screw head. It just doesn't look right. You know, it looks unpolished or something. But Ian, you're hanging out in the other room. You want to?
Yeah, because so our mics don't pick up each other.
Oh, the audio, yeah. Bummer.
Yeah.
That was my concern. Okay, that's one tip. We're gonna have an episode about tools. We're gonna have an episode about cleaning agents, cleaning processes, and just throwing some stuff out. What else?
I was going to try and dig out the Raphael, but we don't have to. That could be another day.
Another day, maybe we can talk. What I would like to do about that would be to talk about things you need to know about when you're working on a machine that has a proportional escapement. And I'm not pretend like I know everything there is to know. I just know some things, and there are some precautions you need to take. And you know, an IBM executive, the Raphael, the Statesman, in some ways they're probably all very similar. You know, one thing I was noting, the Verityper, Coxhead, was really a smart dude. And when he took the basic Hammond design and created the Verityper from it, one of the things he did was he knew that different typefaces or type styles would have different spacing requirements. So in a proportional machine, a W is huge and an I is very small, right? So an I may take 2 units of space and a W would take 4. Well, in another type style, that W maybe only takes 3 and the I still takes 2 or it takes 1. And so IBM, when they had an executive that had a different type style like that, they actually had to kind of re-gear, if you will. You put in the pieces of equipment that metered the movement per type bar so that it would type correctly. If you changed the type style, meaning if you changed out all the type bars, it wouldn't type correctly or it wouldn't space correctly unless you had the correct components to also swap out, if that makes sense. With the Verityper, there's this unit called the coder, and the coder has that spacing information available for every key. So, and that pops in and out. So you change your shuttle, and it's got a radically different spacing setup for you know, for the characters. Like W is 5 instead of 4. The coder has that information in its information. It's mechanical, and you snap a new coder in, and off you would go. So it was brilliant. Coxhead was a pretty smart dude, and he figured out a way to do it with, you know, with that Hammond design that was almost unobtrusive. You can't hardly tell it's there. But that's something we'll talk about. Perhaps we can dig into that. How does that work? Why is it important? If your proportional machine's not spacing correctly, that's probably a topic that would be of use to speak of. Very, very fringe case, that we're not. I think most of the front end topics, if you will, the stuff we want to hit first is going to be related to common maintenance tasks, and how do you do certain things. And unfortunately, we can't imbue feel, right? I can't teach you in this medium how to feel if you're bending something correctly, if you're forming a type bar correctly, if you're applying the force in the right vectors to get the result you want. But what we'll do is at least talk about them, try to demonstrate them, and explain, if you see this, then. If you see this, then. And at least give you some boundaries to try to understand, the context of what you're seeing, and maybe you'll learn, or you can figure out the feel yourself. But a lot of typewriter maintenance, most of it, I say 80%, is observation, and it's feel, it's listening, it's using your senses, your eyes, your hands. You feel vibrations, for instance. You can hear vibrations. Using you don't use your sense of smell too much unless you're dealing with Pollyanna's platens. Oh, Ian, anything on your side?
No, I don't have. I have nothing prepared.
Do you want to just kind of peruse the collection over there, like the rest?
I mean, I don't know half of what's over here, but I can. Wait, actually, no. I actually know most of these. Now that I take a look.
Yeah. There's Raphael. There's a forum.
Flipping the camera here. There's not quite as much light over here as I would like. I'm going to try and get some light. There we go. Assorted portables. These are the ones that I am not necessarily familiar with. I'm pretty sure this is a Super G, and that is a Cougar or something of that ilk.
Cursive. That's why it's over there. So everything over there is got a unique typeface or cursive typeface or something special.
These two are a pair that you are very unlikely to see together. Over here is the proportional Underwood Raphael, and here is the non-proportional counterpart, the Underwood Forum, which has been discussed quite a bit recently in the Electric Typewriter Collectors group. As far as these here, I think that's a Woodstock, and that looks like a KMM. That's probably an Olivetti something.
The KMM is Italic.
I have an Italic Signet, which is not special because all of them are. Then down here, we have multiple colors of Royal HE. These are pretty hard to find Royal Electric standards. I don't have an accurate estimate of how many there are out there in terms of how many collectors have them. It's certainly less than 30. But I'm sure there are more of them in the wild that have not been located yet. So I can't really give. In collections, I know it's less than 30 machines, and I would say it's probably spread out between less than 10 collectors at this time. So that's a green one, that's a blue one, and that's a gray one. The gray one looks kind of pinkish in my little screen here. And then after that, we have two Royal REs. This was their second model of electric, one in green, one in blue. The green one has carbons, but is missing the earmuffs, so to speak, the covers for the carbon ribbon system. I call them earmuffs. Oh, and here's a part we talk about at length on the Electric Standard Typewriter Collectors Group, which is dedicated to standards, which are the full-size machines that are electric. So all of these machines that you see here. Recently, we had a discussion about this part, which is an eraser cleaner from a Royal HE Electric. So this is built in under the keyboard on the right-hand side. So it would be back here. That screw, if you can make it out, which I don't think you can, that screw holds this part in. And when you use your typewriter eraser and you need to clean it, you just slide this out from the right side of your machine, clean your eraser, slide it back in. Really handy feature, and I don't think any other machines had anything like it. And I'm surprised that Royal only used this feature on this machine when they took the insides and only redesigned the cover to make it the Emperor, only a few years into its production. So I'm surprised about that. But I guess we'll talk about that some other time, but I just wanted to show it off.
Cool.
Yep, I think so. Anything else?
No, not from over there. I was just going to say,
Okay.
you know, when space is limited, now I work in an unfinished basement. So I use the rafters a lot. And I hang my cleaners up there to get them off my desk. You do what you can, right? Well, at some point we'll probably talk about tools. Like I said, tools, cleaners, techniques. This was really just an experiment. I did just finally post the link to join this conversation. So we'll see if that worked.
Okay. Do you want to show off any machines?
Not really. The space is so tight here. I've got a bunch of customer machines in process.
All right.
So it's just kind of messy.
You're going to have to show me the proportional electromatic sometime. I didn't know you fixed it.
Yeah, the electromatic, it's over there. Over there. It is proportional. This was a Magdalensky machine. That white schmutz you see there, that's actually like from salt. It's an aluminum frame machine, and it corroded pretty badly being near a water softener. And unfortunately, the power switch is in that same spot. But I was able to revive it, and the machine actually does type. So it's, I'd say 75%. It needs a lot of work, but it was put away functional. So one of the things I noted to myself this morning about the Magdalensky collection is that in many, many cases, even though he kind of hoarded these machines or he stored them, however you want to say it, he put them away in functional condition. And so many of the machines had a test sheet still wrapped around the platen. So, and he liked to type, this is an example of the work that was performed on this machine. That was like his test sentence. And so a lot of these machines, you see this paper yellowed, it's 60 years old, 50 years old. And it gave you an indication, or it gives me an indication, that he put that machine away. Here's one right here. Oh, now it's time for all good men to come to the aid of their party. But I bet you if I look, well, I'm surprised. It doesn't actually say, here, this is an actual Edward Magdalensky test paper.
Yeah, you are pretty washed out. I couldn't read that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's the bright lights. It may be.
Yeah, my face has been washed out anywhere near a light bulb.
Maybe there's too much there. That's a little better.
Yeah, your color balance is still really weird. It's still bleach bypass.
It's okay. Saving Private Ryan. I don't know. But in any event, this is an authentic Ed Magdalensky test sheet. And which one did this come out of? This came out of the National. 1878 was his guess on the year. I got to put this back. That's pretty cool provenance. And again, the executive, it had a test sheet. I was just looking at a 1950s Remington noiseless, really cool green, kind of a light sage green, and it had a test sheet. So still no viewers, still no nobody else joined up. So I think we could probably wrap this up. It was a test. See, we'll post it, and folks can see how goofy we are. What?
Oh, they don't know the half of it. If we had podcast, they figure it out pretty quickly, but you can't
Well,
do typewriter repair for the podcast.
This may devolve into such a thing. But anyway, all right. Well, if you check this out, good for you, but there's no value here. We'll hopefully be a little more organized next time. We'll have a topic. We'll have some materials. We'll have some photos to share. We'll have, how to technique discussions and things like that. But for now, adios, cheerio. Ian, you want to say goodbye to some folkage?
Goodbye.
Second camera.